All right, now you have set your dial to the ongoing saga of fixing up this old aircraft hangar. Well, when we got this thing, like when we bought the property, this hangar was busted. Holes in the roof, actually a whole section of roof was missing, and everything else wrong with it. You know, not just leaks and water and stuff, but like animals everywhere and mildew, and actually the structure itself was full of like old nastified furniture and just weirdness. So this whole project has been about eliminating, minimizing, pushing to the side all the weirdness and stuff. And I kind of left this hole in the roof. I procrastinated a little bit. I put like a little piece of scrap metal over it and I just left it. But that thing has been leaking worse than you want to know. And actually there's a couple other roof leaks, partly from just horrible fasteners. Like this whole thing was fastened up. You know, all the metal was put on this building with ring shaped nails and a little gasket. And back in the day, 1973, I think this building was built. That must have been like the best stuff. But those things wiggled loose over the years and they'd all just kind of leaking. So that's a problem. But this hole actually came from the other section of roof that I fixed in the first video. I think it was the first video. That section of roof, like a whole piece of the roof just kind of cartwheeled over the entire building and ripped a couple big old holes in it. All right, before I 86 this wire, let me just show you where it goes. It's so ugly. I mean, at one point, I guess it probably wasn't that bad, but dude, right now. And so someone was, I don't even know, living in here or something. This was all like drywall and cleaned up. And then the box, yeah, it's beautiful. Mains are just totally sitting there. Everything's been kind of pillaged. And this is a sub panel, but then there's another sub, it looks like. Oh God, where does that one go? Oh, it's not a sub, it's just a big old massive like welding plug, or for a dryer or something. Anyway, I'm not real eager to have this building be under power. Like maybe back in the day, but the reason's not even electrical. Like that power, I don't want that over there. But this bad boy, you'll see in a minute when I get this out of here, it's been leaking. It's been leaking pretty good. Looks like they used like a drill to cut that hole. All right, now just a word on that other building, the building where these wires go to. It's a corn crib. It's like an old corn crib, you know, 19th century, maybe early 20th century thing. But somewhere along the line, I think it was in the 70s also, the people who own this place put metal on it. So they metaled it up, kind of sealed it in so it doesn't breathe like a corn crib does. It also houses all kinds of raccoon families. And I just went ahead and deleted that whole circuit just so it never gets flipped and sparks and stuff. Anyway, that other building, that corn crib that's metallized, the ironclad corn crib, let's call it, it's kind of on my to-do list down the road. You know, we've got 3 outbuildings out here. There's 2 aircraft hangars, and then there's the corn crib. And the corn crib, I really don't have like a plan for that building yet. I haven't figured out what to do with it other than just clean it up and preserve it and keep it from just rotting away. Oh, it's aluminum wire. There it was, thinking I had something valuable. And the other question people have been hitting me with, I don't know why people have so many questions these days. You know, it's like all this curiosity gets sparked and people want to know like what's going on. The other thing people have been asking me is, dude, if you have aircraft hangars, do you have a runway? And the answer is kind of yes, no, and maybe. There is a runway very close to these hangars, but it's not ours. Like we don't actually own it. It's the neighbor's runway. He doesn't use it. He doesn't fly anymore. He's kind of like past his flying prime or whatever you'd want to call it. But yeah, this was like a setup for little planes. one of the previous guys who owned this place was into flying, and he had a couple planes in this hangar that I've been working on, and he had a buddy with some planes in the brown turd of a hangar that I'm not working on. Anyway, so yeah, where there's an aircraft hangar, there is a runway nearby, usually, unless you take your plane out and disassemble it and fold the wings up and put it on a trailer or something. Yeah, these guys, whoever owned this place back in the day, they had planes, they flew these little planes all over the place, they were all into it. And yeah, they had a runway. So just got like a drain going in. Melissa and I put on all these awesome gutters, so we got tons of drainage coming down, but then it's all just going that way. I want to send it that way. We got like a little pond down in there. It's like, that's like a good watershed. And I haven't used one of these before, but I got like a box type thing to throw on the ground. Might be like a little bit fancy. Oh. I discovered this. Just want to like shake the hand of this guy. Buried some wire, did a connection in duct tape underground. It was coming out of the building and just kind of going that way. All right, so with the installation of this white PVC pipe underground, not too deep underground, I think I'm kind of wrapping up the get the water away from the buildings saga. You know, I got gutters everywhere. I got the roof patched pretty well. Sides of the building's pretty patched. I got doors and stuff everywhere. And now this water is going to drain over toward the ponds. Now it did blow snow recently, and snow and ice kind of came in through the sides of the building. So dude, it's not like totally waterproof. It's not your Jacques Cousteau underwater submarine ready to go through any circumstance, but it's pretty much there. Like with the installation of this drain, I think it's pretty much there. See how this whole thing works out. I'm assuming it's going to kind of splashy splash and not be perfect right here, but hopefully like majority flows quasi downhillish and then hence pondward. Alright, so here's the problem with the water and the door. Back in the day, when they first put this thing in, there's kind of like this rubber gasket, like a, you know, rubber. And actually the companies that still put in bifold doors, they will sell you this stuff. It's like $500 for 45 feet of it. The last guy looked like he liked that black Gorilla Tape, but kind of what I want to do is just not have water come down the face, splash onto this stuff, and then leak into the door. And it really does leak into the door. Like when it rains just like down the inside of this thing. I'd also kind of contemplated a big old piece of metal trim, and I actually bought some that was prefabbed instead of trying to make it or whatever. So I bought some of that stuff, but I think it's just gonna be too flappy if it's out there over the door. Just too flop-a-doo. It only hangs from like an inch. fantasy is to be able to slide this stuff up and under without taking things off, but it's just tight. Tighter than a witch's pocketbook. So after like a whole lot of futzing and fiddle-faddling with that trim up there, I only got, I'm not even gonna say halfway, a third of the way. It's just not really sliding in there real good. Plus, the more I put it in there, the more I think that what this building needs to like protect this door and this whole area from water is not a little rinky-dink piece of trim, but instead either like a little like 1.5 foot awning or a big old canopy out here, you know, like 12 feet out, new poles and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna pause on that trim. It's just, it's like throwing bad apples after good stuff. So tell me what you think about the installation of some kind of eave or awning or extension off the end of this building. I think I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm 90% there. At one point I thought about doing like a flying gable, you know, the gable end that kind of points out at the tip, but water drainage off a flying gable is always a little bit funky just because you don't really have like a gutter on that angled edge. So I think I'm just gonna do a straight up gable end, you know, kick it out. We're just gonna kind of ignore this wire that I taped up. It was nibbled by every creature imaginable. And back to the topic of the potential for like a gable end, like at the end of the building, some kind of eave or something. Looks like the truss, that last truss, is sandwiched with plywood just to stiffen it up for the behemoth of the door. But there's like some wimped out OSB kind of at the end. If you can see the purlins or those roof girts or whatever you want to call them, they go out and they kind of come flush on a piece of OSB. So to punch through will just mean to, you know, take all the siding off and stuff and then just cut a little bit of that to get a big extended piece out. And I love the way they used a hanger on one side, nailing one of the holes, and then on the other side just kind of nailed through. But they didn't nail through with 2 nails, so yeah, whatever, it's fine. Now, though it is the case that this video resembles a instructional how-to video, just a story of how I did it, and I appreciate you checking it out. In the next one, I'm either going to blow out the front of the building and add on to it, or I'm going to wander over to the crib and kind of show you what's going on. It needs a thorough cleaning. This brown turd of a building is not really on my list right now, but it's coming up.